Okay, we are going. We are going to get started on working on the next comic page. Bum, 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 bum. Alright. I'm just setting things up here, and I'm assuming people will be coming by in a second. In the meantime, I can't really see chat at the moment, so if anyone's there, hello. I'll get to you in a second. Got that. And that. Okay, that should be good. Alright. I've got that. And I've got that. Okay. Not sure why I'm checking this. Alright, that should be good. So, click on this and come over here. Handgun, hello, yes, I was just going along to the beat of the music I had playing, and I don't have it playing anymore, so I have to get another soundtrack to put up in the background. How is your night going? I know you are apparently getting dinner or whatever. I am currently getting things set up, and yeah, that's about how it's going here. Yeah, that reviewer certainly seemed to leave a bit of an impression on you. He does not say the best of things about the Final Fantasy titles. Let's go with this. Okay. Come on. Here we go. Alright. Well, until you get started on your dinner, we are getting started on this. And yes, George Wood is hilarious. He's insane, but that is why people admire him, because he is just insane. I heard a review, or someone did a documentary on him, and I'd never seen one of the clips they showed in it, and George Wood in the video was saying that it was like he was doing something, some comparison back when the 3D stuff was first getting started in gaming, and he was saying like, so who's it going to be that's going to come out on top this generation? Is it gonna be Sony? Is it gonna be the PlayStation, the Jaguar, the Sega Saturn? The answer is none of the above. It is the Virtual Boy. And, like, he legitimately thought that, like, the Virtual Boy was gonna be what ushered in the great new era of 3D. And he has done reviews on some of those games, and he seems to love them. I'm not sure why. He seems like he's a bit of a Nintendo fanboy, but he's like... he is someone you have to, like, experience and really see a lot of stuff of to understand the insanity at all. Yeah, he is someone you could just spend hours just watching in utter awe at what he's saying. I remember, he kept going on about, like, the, Silicon Graphics computers and stuff whenever there's a 3D anything in any of the games back then in his reviews. I think he started off reviewing or talking about, like, comics and stuff in the 90s, and from what I've seen, he was a lot better qualified to talk about that stuff than about video games, but yeah, cause of getting into games, that's what he's known for now. Just the utter baffling stuff he says about them. We are currently listening to, actually, we're listening to a remix of music from a game he reviewed once, Mega Man 8. If I remember correctly, he said that, the game is way too hard, so you'll have to cheat, but if you cheat, it's way too easy. And, that was about what he said about a lot of games half the time. Is it's, like, impossible, but if you cheat, there's no reason to play it. Yeah, he's, I'd forgotten about Michael Does Life. Good old classic YouTube era stuff. This might be my favorite music from Mega Man 8. This remix really leans into the guitars and stuff, though. If you ever want a good dub of something, be sure to listen to Mega Man 8's cutscenes. You are going to be rolling on the floor with what you hear. Nobody does a Dr. Light quite like that game. Sounds like a drunk Elmer Fudd. But yeah, we're working on the latest comic page here, which is of Doko and Stacy talking before the tournament gets started, the final match of the tournament. Stacy's still wearing her Go Doko hat. She put that on 2 comics ago. The next time, the next comic she shows up in, it'll obviously be absent, since there is no real reason to be cheering Doko on if he's not in the tournament. So you played the Mega Man games literally everybody played. Yeah, Mega Man 2 is the most popular of the classic games, and Mega Man X is arguably the most popular of the X games. Oh, hello, Shadow. How are you doing? We were talking about an insane video game reviewer. Now we've got some Mega Man music in the background while we work on this page of Doko and Stacy. Just speaking to each other before the final match gets started. I have 3 pizza rolls here in case I get hungry. Which I'm not sure if that'll suffice, but it will have to. George Wood is who we're talking about. The insane guy I was posting about last night and today. Says the most baffling stuff. He thought that out of all the systems when 3D was getting started, that it would not be the PlayStation or the Sega Saturn or the Jaguar or anything that would usher in the grand new 3D and be the new king of town or whatever. It was gonna be the Virtual Boy. And that is a legitimate thing he said on TV. It is preserved for future generations to hear all across YouTube. Well, everyone's coming in tonight. How are you doing, Bowyer? We're working on page 52 here. This is the page I was working on earlier in the week while I was out having that burrito at the Sleepy Bee place I stopped at after I was getting the storage stuff moved out for Mom. The King O' Town. I do remember that the Brothers Chaps did make a new Homestar episode the other year. It was I think it was a Mother's Day or Father's Day episode. It was 'cause one of them had a kid now, so they made like an episode about that, and obviously the characters are not exactly the best parents or anything, but I think it was like one of those pretend to take care of an egg or pillow or whatever as your child type of situations. It's standard Homestar humor. Marzipan and Homestar were not acting as the best partners. Oh, well, I always liked a good cream soda when I was little. My favorite was the Barks Red Cream Soda, which you can only get in certain parts of America, such as Cincinnati, Ohio, which is what I had as sort of my childhood drink out here. When my aunt and cousin came by the other month, they stopped by Dewey's Pizza and got me a red cream soda from there. Yeah, that's sort of the joke with Homestar and Marzipan. The only real couple of the series, but not necessarily the most functional under the surface level. I think my favorite Homestar Runner episode might still be the virus episode, when the world just starts going out of control once Strong Bad gets the viruses on his computer. That is not a small number! That is a big number! I think the first time I saw anything of Homestar was probably in 7th or 8th grade, when a classmate was wearing a The Cheat shirt. I had no idea what the character was, but it looked like some weird indie internet thing. I don't know if I've ever had bar cream soda before, but I'll take your word that it's good. Cream sodas and root beers kind of felt like they went together category-wise to me. Or in the old days, sarsaparilla. Well, typical, I guess, vanilla cream soda is like the standard flavor. I usually see that as like brown or light brown. What did the Homestar character look like on the guy's shirt? It was the Cheat. Yeah, it was just him standing there, and there was some quote above the Cheat. Probably some imitation of the Cheat's noises he makes or something. Let's switch up the music. Hopefully this music isn't too quiet for you guys. Stacy here is just worried about Doko in the upcoming match after what the Claw did to the Hawker the previous match, how he was able to defeat her as easily as he did. Obviously, the Hawker, being a superhero, is not a easy opponent to normally beat. Yeah, this is a piece of music I used to draw to sometimes. The Sonic Mega Collection, when you go into like the history section of it, would always play this in the background. I think the some of the earliest internet videos I'd see, it was back in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade mostly. And it'd be, what was the site? It had like Salad Fingers on it and stuff like that. It wasn't E-Bomb's World, it wasn't Newgrounds, wasn't YTMND. If I thought about it more, I know I could remember what the site was called. That's where I saw a lot of earlier stuff, and then there was Legendary Frog with their Flash animations, their Resident Evil animations, and the One Ring to Rule Them All Flash animations. Just early internet ridiculousness. A good time was had by all. YTMND was probably one of the ones I went to the most. And seeing all the variations of the Numa Numa dance on Newgrounds. I loved this one that was like someone got all these sprites of different video games to do the dance and stuff. Classic internet. Well, the old internet is never truly gone as long as you remember it. In the days long past, in the time before time. And then the YouTube nation attacked. Google tried to monopolize the creativity and blah 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 blah. Slowly, the star rankings disappeared, video responses disappeared, the messaging system YouTube had was gotten rid of. Now we're left with all these thumbnails that don't even represent what's in the videos. That's the bleak way to look at it. At the same time, we got high quality graphics now on our videos. This screen you're watching here is not a mess of pixels, and I can actually talk to the people that are here watching, which was not something you could do when YouTube started. Yeah, every generation's got its trials of corporations and creativity. It all starts over again eventually. Just gotta wait it out. Yeah, so what are you guys having for dinner tonight? I'm not sure what I'm having. All I'm focusing on food-wise at the moment is these pizza rolls I got here. Oh, and yes, Handgun, the Survivor games of Resident Evil are Survivor and Dead Aim. Well, sausage is always a nice variety of flavors when it comes to the meat portion of food. I remember listening to this track, they'd always, the history section in Sonic Mega Collection always was featuring the Archie Sonic comics, which I kind of found odd, because it's like that doesn't really have anything to do with the games of Sonic. And then they had, like, character reference sheets for the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So it seemed like just a mishmash of different things they decided to throw in for, like, the franchise's history. Oh yeah, Dead Aim, that's the game that takes place on the cruise ship handgun. From what I've heard, it may have been that, since they didn't do the ship version of Resident Evil 3, they ended up just using that type of setup for Dead Aim. It's just what I've heard, though. Likewise, I've also heard that, it's possible that they used G in Dead Aim because, they were going to in 4, but ended up not doing it there, so got shifted over. But again, just what I've heard. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-dum. Ba-dum, bum. Yeah, ranting is what we do sometimes. Was Riverdale like that realistic-looking interpretation of Archie? I never had any real interest to look into it. Oh, I guess it must be what you're talking about then. Yeah, give a franchise enough time and eventually they'll take a stab at an edgy, realistic interpretation. I know they've done realistic DC comics of things like Scooby-Doo and Flintstones and stuff. Kinda ridiculous if you ask me, but I'm sure it's got an audience. Well, that is how comic companies are. They always push to keep things what they think will be relevant and get readers' attention. Sort of problem I've always had with, like, Marvel and DC and stuff is they just throw in random plot twists out of nowhere just to keep things going and keep things shocking for the audience and to grab more attention from the general audience that ruins everything they come in contact with. Oh, I know. Realistic amphibia. Have Sasha be a abusive bully and can be a girl that is questioning her relationship with her parents. And everything can be just slightly more boring. Marcy can be secretly a psychopath. Yeah, nah, I haven't really kept up. I haven't really kept up much with Archie over the years. I just always found it odd that they were the ones doing the Sonic comics, given their usual material. I have thought before about, like, drawing Doko and the characters more realistic looking, just for, like, little one-scene pieces or sketches or something. Have a variant cover that looks like some realistic action scene or something. Then you have to get down what the characters would look like realistically and the shapes of the noses and everything. It's just more fun to draw as cartoons, I think. I have done a realistic or... well, he's not a thing that exists in real life, so... a more edgy looking, I guess, Xeno Hunter. It was my attempt at, like, doing a parody of the bad box art versions of, like, old American covers for video games. Oh yes, have Doko just blasting the brains out of some demon. Shotgun in one hand and energy flowing out of the other. Yeah, Doko can get pretty angry looking though in a fight. I think I'm gonna change this music here. About that. How's about this one? Yeah, I always like this track for the just hanging out type before a big mission sort of feel. There's dangers outside, but you're in a base that's got you protected for the time being. Yeah, this is just showing some of the fight that the audience did not get to see of the Hawker versus the Claw, since that was all off-screen in the comic. Yeah, I didn't realize when I got the characters away from the tournament grounds after Doko's previous fight that it would take this long to get back to, like, the actual tournament matches of the comic. Not realize that Doko's little search for Stacy and then the Hawker afterwards would take up a good portion of the second half of the comic. Yeah, I'm really not liking my body today. I wish it would just stop with all the sensations it has. Yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going to head out to the storage unit again and get some more stuff moved out of there. Takes a while to do with one person, but it will eventually get done if given enough time. I'll probably stop by the ice cream place on the way back. And yeah, the claw here he's a bit tall. Taller than I thought he was while drawing him. Yeah, when drawing the actual pictures, the proportions more go by whatever you're feeling will work for each scene. You can make character sheets and stuff if you want, but the scenes sort of dictate themselves on how the characters look at times. The reference sheets are only good in so much as you decide to follow them. They're more of guidelines than anything else. Not that I ever made a reference sheet for the Claw. A lot of the characters I just draw in, like, keep track of or go back to previous comic pages and look at how I drew them in those. Yeah. The talk of sausage earlier, Handgun, had me thinking of, I wanted to make a ramen with, Asian or Japanese sausage, but I don't have any of that kind of sausage, so I can't really do that. I guess we could, someone with the right know-how could make a mod of Doom and put these comic characters into that. Going back to the Doom idea of Doko Shadow had. I know there's plenty of Doom mods that have been done over the decades at this point. Technically, a lot of the first-person shooters back then were just mods of Doom, if you want to get technical about it. Just stuff that utilized their engine, because they were able to get the licensing deals on them and stuff. Oh, and just so you know, Handgun, if you play Dead Aim again, or Gun Survivor 2, Morpheus is the villain in that game. He is the one that Umbrella put the blame on for the Arklay Mountains incident in 1. And that's why he's been fired from Umbrella. They used him as a scapegoat for the whole debacle, and he's getting revenge on them for that. You have the claw looking all ominous up here. And it's really, this is sort of showing his eyes paying attention to things as he fights. He may have stances that don't lend themselves to knowing that he's in a situation, a fight and stuff, but his eyes are always tracking the opponent and his senses are always alert. He is obviously not a novice when it comes to fighting. Which, since this hasn't been treated as a humorous setup, in a more silly scenario, an inexperienced fighter would have bumbled their way to the end probably, but he is a more substantial threat when it comes to the opponents that are in the tournament. I am curious, kind of, as to what all the readers thought would be the finalists of the tournament. I assume a lot of the readers just assume Doko would be in the final match, since he's the hero and everything. I don't know. I am looking over the music again to figure out what else I should play. How about this one? Well, when making the tournament originally, I kinda kept it more in the dark intentionally, how the claw was, like if he was good or if he just was getting lucky and stuff. It seemed like a character that you could either go like, yeah, he is mysterious, so he is a real fighter, or it'd be a joke of, he's mysterious and that's the joke, there's nothing beyond that. Oh yeah, the Claw is definitely a, not someone that you want to be in the ring with, if you know how he is. I used to get stuck on this level so much when I was little. I think I only ever made it up to Hilltop Zone once or twice. Because I remember getting to Casino Night Zone a few times, but usually I couldn't make it there. It was always really magical though when I did. All those flashing lights. I always got it mixed up with Chemical Plant Zone, because they're both like nighttime and have all the like lights and stuff in the background, the city across the water and everything. I remember like, all the people that would always go on about, like, there's not people in Sonic's world or whatever, and, like, there aren't cities and stuff in the original games, and it's like, look in the background. There's always buildings back there in those old games. Damn. Ba-da-bow. Ba-da-bow. Yeah, I might, I'd be kind of inclined to go, try collecting and preserving the videos of that crazy video game reviewer, but I think they're popular enough that that's already covered pretty much. I don't think there's much worry that that content is gonna be lost ever now. I am doing this page later than I normally do my streams. For some reason, it's been feeling like it's been taking longer to make the recent pages. Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Stacy in the comics so far, but she'll definitely be a character that you get more exposure to as the series goes on. This is the last one she'll be in for a while, though. Doesn't live on the same island that Doko and his friends do. Yeah, some of these scenes lately have been having more background elements and stuff to them. Yeah, I guess you can see Doko and Stacy right next to each other, the similarities in their designs. Obviously not in the hair, but in pretty much everything else they have the same stylings to their designs. I think that the first time Stacy gets mentioned is in the second comic of the series. She either gets mentioned or you can see like a picture of her or a note to her on Doko's fridge at one point. That would have been like 10 years ago now, though. Yeah, Stacy and Doko have the exact same type of outfit, and the same goggle earpiece thing. It's just that they wear different clothes over their outfits. Yeah, for their undersuits that they wear, it's not like it acts like clothing, but it also acts sort of like a second skin. Like, Doko and Stacy don't always wash the undersuits in a washing machine. Sometimes they'll just wear it in, like, the shower or something, because the undersuits act as sort of a second skin. They dry the same way that skin does. And if the suits get cut or anything, they'll heal over time. And also their goggles are only compatible with them. No one else can really use them. Since their goggles, like, feed information into their brains and, like, pop up information on the insides of the lenses when they have them down over their eyes. Oh, well, this is after all the apocalyptic stuff, mostly. So there's chances for washing machines again. Don't gotta worry too much about that. In this kind of world, there might even just be an island that is, like, dedicated to being a giant washing machine. And they do have an island that serves to just make paint, so that wouldn't be too far out of the question. Yeah, the first character chronologically that has these type of goggles is Telemer. He was back in our time period, or the 19... I think he was awoken in the year 2000, if I remember right. But his goggles, you can't take them off because they're part of his body. But they look exactly like Doko and Stacy's goggles. Then there's a faction of people that wear these types of goggles during the civil wars after Earth has been rebuilding in the 2100s. All the little bits and pieces of lore that you only get if you come to the streams. Boom, boom. I guess Enzymos also... Well, Enzymos has goggle things that look sorta like the design of this. When it's like, But his are like... They look... He looks more like Telemer in his normal state. But when the goggles go down over his eyes, I think I had it that it switches to, like, having more fish... like, fish fins coming off of the edges of them, like that. And he has, like, glowing red eyes and stuff beneath them. Yeah, he was back in the early 2000s. Enough chemical plant. Yeah, I do remember the goggles were originally an idea I had since I saw all the Digimon protagonists wearing them, though I ended up incorporating that into Telemer's design. But I gave it the earpieces to go along with it. I am drained of energy today. Head is light. And it's all warbly wobbly. Yeah, we should all get together for a game of Mario Party. Then put the different versions, the different recordings of it on each of our channels. And no, I don't drink coffee, I drink tea. Yeah. My body just naturally feels drained these days. Alright, I was gonna make the background of this panel all black. I did see that we got a new person in Discord last night, or this morning. It was before I woke up. And so the community grows. Someday we'll have the people to be able to take on the likes of Markiplier and some other famous personality. PewDiePie is the easy one, so I wasn't gonna say him. Ow. 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 Yeah, today's a day where I just want to rip out part of my lower body. Yeah, if we got enough people, we can take Markiplier on. Him and his, the Pokemon Smasher Pass chart he has. I do know Masasa watches Markiplier. She always has him on the TV when she puts up pictures. I never really watched Markiplier, and I never watched PewDiePie. I saw like one episode of his Ao Oni Let's Play back when that came out, and I could not, my ears were not happy after that, so I never ever clicked on him again. Now I'm eating the last pizza roll. Farewell, pizza rolls. Yeah, I always, Dr. Orpheus on the Venture Brothers always seemed to be like the biggest fan of pizza rolls ever. He would always mention them. Who wants pizza rolls? He's like the nicest character in that show. Just a Doctor Strange ripoff that's a genuinely nice guy. I'm sure with enough training, Handgun, we can shape you into a champion to fight against the internet personalities. Take on all the Oneies and Jadens and Illuminations and all that. We'll give you the finest in digital weaponry. Get some of the Lyoko virtualization weapons or something. Yeah, Venture Brothers is essentially the parody of Johnny Quest. Although they have literal Johnny Quest parodies show up a few times in it. He's basically... They start out calling him, like, Johnny, and then they switch it to Action Johnny later, which I'm pretty sure is because they probably weren't allowed to make that direct of a reference to him, but it's still, like, obviously Johnny Quest. You are a nobody with a comic shadow. That is more than just a nobody. Oh, there is no way in hell that Markiplier was the first to do the Pokemon Smash Pass thing. That's obviously... He obviously isn't the first to do that. He's just the first that's the most popular. The internet popularity is what factors into what people see as the first to do things. For instance, Resident Evil 4 is not the first game to do over-the-shoulder camera, but it is the first one that a lot of people think of because that's their first exposure to it. Well, you're still alive, Shadow. You got all the time in the world still to work on your little shadow. It's so nice to have the internet connected via the ether cable to the computer. Makes it so much easier to work with, not constantly getting disconnected anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dead Space came out after Resident Evil 4. Oh, I have now seen the first episode of that unicorn, Eternal Guardians or whatever, from Gendy. It's a very nice looking show. I saw one episode of it amidst the other marathon of stuff they've been playing of Gendy the last few weeks. Jet Force Gemini is still the best third-person shooter, don't care what anybody says. All you guys can keep your Dead Spaces and Resident Evils and Call of Duties and stuff. I'm taking the Rareware route. Oh, and just a reminder, if you guys are behind at all in the timeline of the video, be sure to drag the timeline bar over to the right. Make sure you're all caught up. It seems like most everyone's been on track with what's been being said, though. Just feel the need to give that reminder sometimes. And Shadow, the link that you posted the other day of Garfield, That is probably the best I have ever seen 2D Garfield animated before. Well, Daniel, if I remember correctly, there are implications that humans and Pokemon did date in the past in the world of Pokemon. And that goes into, I think, Pokedex entries and stuff. A rare look of a somewhat glare from Doko here. Stacy's reminding him that he can quit if it gets too rough, which he is not about to do. She's just worried about him after what happened to the hawker. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get the whole summary of the series typed out and have that ready for you guys. I've got ideas for how to handle things should anything ever happen to me. Why is that like that? Here we go. Get down. Boom, boom. One thing. Oh, I don't want anything to happen to me either, Handgun. It's kinda nice being alive. But you have to have precautions. And with how my body feels sometimes these days, that gets me thinking about it more at times. As long as I'm alive, though, I don't intend for you guys to see the summaries of the series. Because as long as I'm here, I'm going to be making the comic. It's my project. What the? Why did Facebook pop up? Well, guess I'll take a look at what's on here. That. Answered. Oh, that was the person going on about how great Teen Titans Go is. Alright, get off of Facebook. No idea why that popped up. Hey. Alright, I am back here. Yeah, there was just someone that I saw earlier today on Facebook going on about how Teen Titans Go is the GOAT and they are tired of pretending it's not. So I just posted, well, you can keep thinking that if you want. I'll just continue to like the actual good one. And then I put up a picture from the original Teen Titans show. Oh, well, I use Facebook because I've always been on there. Is that a thing that people do not do now? I know I've heard people that like Teen Titans Go, the few that there are that I have interacted with, say that, like, the original show is too dark for them and stuff, and, like, the original Teen Titans is a comedy show. Like, it's got meaningful moments, but that doesn't, like, make it dark or anything. Yeah, I use Facebook, I use Twitter, I use Tumblr, I use Instagram. I have a Reddit that I don't really go on, but sometimes I check in. I use DeviantArt. Yeah, I'm not someone that throws away stuff. I just, like with my video game systems, I just hang on to it as long as it is working. So, if I'm somewhere, I'm usually there forever. As Handgun knows, I am on GameFAQs still, after like decades, so yeah. Yeah, nah. They might like Go, but I am free to not care for it and show the actual good stuff, which I do have every episode of. I just wish that when they brought Teen Titans back, that they just made, like, Season 6, because, like, that's what everyone was wanting. And they did have another season planned that was going to focus on Starfire, and would have eventually led into the future time period with Nightwing and White Raven and stuff like that. We never got that because the show got canceled, so what could have been? Oh, I'm not gonna post my stream links on like Facebook. That's just like people in real life that I know and stuff. I do post it on Twitter, but I don't know how to get people to see the stuff I post. Because even with like putting those hashtag things, people still don't really even look at what I post usually. So it's sort of a toss-up if people see things or not. I've heard of the name Pantheon, but I can't place what it is. I'm sure I haven't seen the show at all. Oh no, Daniel. Oh. Hold on, I just heard something. Just a second. Okay, I come back and the computer is frozen. That's great. Come on. Get on. Come on. Stop. Stop. Work. 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 That. Well, if you guys can hear me, that was whatever I got up for was just someone banging on some door outside, it looked like. Okay, it's the computer's starting to respond. And here we are. Okay. An adult animated VR series. AMC got cancelled. Oh. Let's turn this. Okay, I think the audio level's alright. If the music is too loud, please say something. Hope you enjoy your meal, handgun, whatever you ended up eating. And, I guess the computer is working again, so I'm going to get back to working on this. Well, that seems a bit of a waste to have made an entire season that they're not gonna release, but I guess that is sort of par for the course in certain companies. There is tons of footage that never gets seen by the public for projects. Then you have Cartoon Network that just keeps all of their shows and doesn't release DVDs of them and stuff. And you know the materials exist behind closed doors, but the actual, like, general audience has no access to them. It just makes no sense to not show things when it could just be making them money. But such is the way of companies and corporations. Nebulous entities that only look at what is told to them by their charts and ignores all else. No reason, just following numbers. They're like a collective consciousness that creates a computer that's only function is to just make money. Every decision that's made derives off of that in some way. I love playing Sonic Mania. I just wish Sega had let them do all entirely new levels instead of forcing them to put in old ones alongside the new ones. No idea why they feel the need to do that. Especially when they had all those anniversary games that throw you back through all the old levels of the series already. Yeah, thinking of that word Pantheon, I think I know what you're talking about, Shadow, but I never actually saw the thing. If I remember right, it looked like an anime, kind of. Yeah, I feel Eggman would like to make a movie. He feels like the kind of guy that needs to be in the spotlight of everything. I guess he does sort of make a movie in the Sonic Boom cartoon. That is a pretty enjoyable cartoon at times, contrary to how horrible the game turned out. From my understanding, the game of Sonic Boom didn't even start out as a Sonic project. It was something that got turned into Sonic from what they had already designed it to be. The worst thing from Boom to me, from not just the game, was probably Styx. She was just annoying to me. I was going to get another pizza roll, but then I saw I don't have any here anymore. Okay, we've got Smooth Stroke on here. Come on, Doko, get the hair right. I say as if Doko has any say in that matter. Ouch, ouch, ow, 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 ow. I need to remember if this ring around the shadow symbol is black or not behind Stacy. Probably edit that after the stream's over and go back and look at previous pages to see how it is. Well, I would probably ask Doko if he wanted to play a video game if he came out of the screen. Knowing all the characters' interests and disinterests, I can maneuver around their mentalities better than other people would be able to. Although if Sake came out of the screen, I would probably just end up getting killed, but that'd be the same for pretty much anybody that encounters her. She does rip my arm off in the story in the 2000s, so that one's kind of already set in stone there. I would see if Doko knew how to make rice balls so he could make some Asian food for me. Given how he's grown up, he probably has enough experience with it at this point. Yeah, I get my arm ripped off in 2008 when the war that destroys our society begins. Trying to get the other members of the faction I'm a part of to safety, and I end up distracting Sake. And in the ensuing conflict, she just ends up ripping the arm off when I attack her at one point. Yeah, she's just trying to kill all of us at that point. We get to safety, and that leaves her behind. And then the observers fly her out of there as the government begins to bomb Cincinnati. Yeah, it's a whole big ensuing conflict. The start of the end of the world. I get a robot arm, though, to replace the lost one. It's got a sword in it. Yeah, Doko will encounter Sake on the next island they go to. It'll be... Well, they've seen each other, they saw each other in Female Agenda, but they didn't really interact beyond seeing each other. But in this next island they're going to, it'll have quite a bit of interactions with her. She will not be someone that Doko ends up liking that much. There will definitely be blood. That though. Yeah, I know Masasa exists in the comic time period. I still exist in the comic time period, because I don't have a human body at that point. But I'm never going to be a part of the story of the comics. I just still exist then, is all. Oh, I do have these mini donuts here. Yeah, I'm not someone that inserts themselves into everything. Feel it a bit egocentrical to just make everything about me. Nice little autobiographical story here and there is alright, but when making a whole grand adventure, it feels better to me usually to make entire new characters and stuff for a story. I sometimes have people ask if Doko is based on me, because we both have black hair and he has goggles and stuff. No, it's just I made him that way because that's what Telemer's design looked like. I was reusing that for him. And then the black hair is just because I'd never made a hero that had black hair before, so I wanted to do it with him. It's pretty much the only mentality I had thinking of him. I made his outfit blue and black because blue was always my favorite color when I was little. Well, that's about it for the creation process for the final version of Doko. the early concepts for him, he didn't even look like a human. He had, like, flower petal hair or something, but I haven't been able to find those old drawings no matter how hard I've looked, so I've got no way to really show what it looked like. I don't know if I even had him gave him a name back then. Sake was from those concepts, though. I think that's where I first made her up. Then I incorporated her into the history of what I'd already made up for, like, the old freak stuff in the 2000s time period. And that's sort of how the Dreamscape comic series started to form. Ended up making what I was making a story of, with, like, hyper-futuristic ruins and stuff. Ended up putting it onto the end of the Freaks stuff. And a sort of future series that became the comics evolved out of that. Everything's been in place for the world of the comics lore-wise since before the comics were created. It ended up being a bit sad to me, some of the stuff that happens during the war and stuff that destroys our society after I made that part of the history up, but without those events and things happening to the characters that happen in it, the world of the comics would not exist. So you have to have that stuff there for the comics to happen. Oh boy, Doko. I really need to figure out how to get this program to record more than just the paint program screen. Maybe find a way to make a VTuber model for the edward18 character. Give something else for the audience to look at while I do videos on streams. One guy I've been seeing streams of lately is the RPG Monger. He has like a Moogle from Final Fantasy as his VTuber thing. But he gets pretty into the games he plays. Really looks at the story of the series and stuff. Oh, you have a suggestion, Shadow? Ow. Ow. No, no, go back to that. Where's the size? Get that out of it. Okay. Well, I will be sure to see what you put up. Maybe whatever it is will be the winning ticket to success. Then I can get all the supporters, get the money, get the body fixed, and then move on into the stardom of human pop culture. Yeah, yeah, I am yawning today. Well, I'll just look over here right now, since I have the Discord up. Oh, I was wondering if you were going to put up the ToonTuber thing. Yeah, that's something I have thought about quite a bit. I've just never quite known how to do it, and how to apply that stuff to, OBS. But the ToonTuber stuff seemed like probably the best way to do it, since the, Edward18 has always been an animated character and stuff. Yeah, I always do like when that guy that does that ToonTuber stuff is, like, talking, does all these cute switches between the expressions and stuff. Little head bouncing up and down as the mouth moves. Well, maybe this will be a new era for the Edward. The ToonTuber Edward18. Able to switch from happy to sad at the press of a button. Then popping his head open and rummaging around in the cyborg workings inside. It's kind of odd being able to go to Discord while recording and stuff. Like my other computer, the Windows 7 one, cannot do any of this. Discord is like open in a internet browser window, like Google Chrome. And then the recording software, if it worked on that computer, would just freeze everything up. But it doesn't even work on there, so it's not something I can even say that happens with that. Oh, and we could animate a little shadow for a cameo or something. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Here is Little Shadow as the co-host. He'll make faces while I'm talking. Doko and his friends crawl across the screen at one part. I remember there was a program that you could download during the Bo-Rock days of Bionicle.com where it would let you put a digital Bo-Rock on your computer screen and you could, like, make it do stuff on the computer screen. It was always a cool little feature. I always went for Nuvok, because I always liked the black Bionicles. Yeah, just the side effect of Onua being my first Bionicle. Let's change this music. This is too soothing, maybe sad. Now let's do this one, it's more beat. I always wanted to live in some Japanese village with sliding doors in the houses because of Mystical Ninja. And I thought going to Japan you could just walk into straw coffee shops and have rice balls everywhere you went and stuff because of that game. Yeah, I was going through Bionicle, like, history and stuff, thinking about how I'd do a Bionicle comic, and there were a few things I was misremembering when they happened and stuff. I'd forgotten that Mata Nui was the one that made the Makuta, and wasn't the Great Beings, which made, like, everything else. Oh well, that would be pretty peaceful. Nice little village life. Yeah, growing up with Mystical Ninja and Totoro, I always wanted that peaceful, simplistic, older Japanese type of setting. And I thought that, like, sliding doors and stuff were a common thing in modern Japan because of those. That's part of why I like the Bionicle villages in the Mata Nui Island stuff. They seemed like peaceful little communities. The Makuta started off as organic and mechanical beings. before they evolved into being a more gaseous state. And yeah, my Bionicle idea would just go over all the history of Makuta leading up to when the series properly starts. Show him becoming the villain that he would be. I remember you meet a Kappa in the village that this music track plays in. You need to get a cucumber for it. I didn't realize it, but we're on the last panel already. And it's only been 2 hours, which is a lot longer than I thought it was. Time just flies by in these streams. There. I'm going to check something over here. Oh, Shadow, it looks like you're probably the only person watching. Yeah, just a slow, compact stream today. Helped, of course, by my lovely singing. This completely envious, deadpan, emotionless voice of mine. I used to have people say in videos, like the comments of videos, that I sound posh, which I always found kind of funny. Yeah, everyone, I guess they just couldn't hang on as long as you. You're the last man standing. So welcome to the Shadow the Cartoonist exclusive Edward18 stream. Here we shall reveal all the secrets that none of the other members will ever talk to you about. Such as, is Masasa really evil? Or is Handgun truly innocent? The answer, of course, is no, but we can go even more in depth. Starting out his days wandering GameFAQs, Handgun would go around trolling the audience, till eventually he had enough of that life and moved on to the greener pastures of the internet landscape. In time, he would meet Edward18 again after having first confronted him on GameFAQs. What was once an adversary had become an ally, and so he joined the Discord. Oh well, ice cream is a pretty delicious thing to have. I like mint chocolate chip, but I'll also take a chocolate raspberry. Yeah, to have any semblance of a proper view count for a stream feels kinda like you just need to be streaming all day long, and eventually you get people that stumble in periodically throughout the day. That's what adds to the view count, I think. Unless another streamer decides to quote-unquote raid you, or whatever it's called. The term raid always sounded like a bad thing to me, like they were sending you a bunch of people that were trying to disrupt what you were doing, but from my understanding, it's just sending more viewers your way is all. Oh hey, we got another viewer here again. Looks like you're not the only one now, Shadow. Oh, vanilla goes with any soda, Daniel. That's what if you put the flavored ones in like soda, it's not as tasty at times, but vanilla is like the base flavor for most stuff. It's what I always use to make root beer floats with. When I go to the ice cream place out here, though, I ask for a lemon lime phosphate with my ice cream. The phosphate being a soda that is made out of carbonated water and syrup. So, sort of, you modifying your own soda instead of getting a brand soda. What would you guys do if you woke up tomorrow and had $200 million? Feel like I've asked that before. But I ask everyone that eventually in my life. I would put a movie theater in the basement. And I'd buy a Sega CD. Because that's what I always said I'd buy if I won the lottery. I would absolutely buy a lot of arcade machines for my video game room. Oh wait, I think I did ask before. because I think Shadow here said that they would start up their business to get old properties and release them into the public domain. Oh, well, you got the good people then working the stuff. Yeah, I figured I probably asked before, but it does not hurt to reiterate. If my mind were like it used to be a year ago, I'd have remembered, probably. Not probably, I would have. I cannot remember so many things now. Well, we can have that be the initiation question. To get into the Edward18 Warahi Inner Sanctum, you have to answer, what would you do if you had $200 million? Yeah, for me, I used to ask the most ridiculous questions to people at work because I was bored. Like, I would ask my partner, I asked them one night what they would do if they were president, and then they asked that back to me, and I got into this whole long, I told them I'd start making secret bases underneath the ocean, or in the ocean, that would, like, be constructed, and then I would bomb Europe, I think, and then that would launch the next World War, and the people that were important to the plan would be moved into the underwater bases. All the war stuff would happen. I would have my brain ripped out and put into a machine to oversee the construction of the new world into the next century, and eventually it all ended up evening out into this giant world that was built around the sun, like out of all the materials of the planets of the solar system, this mega planet with the sun as its core. And the whole point of all those millenniums of work would be so that the sun would be able to give us enough power to show whatever cartoons we wanted, for broadcast them as far as we want throughout the galaxy, 24/7, then my work would be done. And that is the future under President Edward 18. A delightful concept, I'm sure. The partner was just, like, at first they were, like, in shock, and as it went on, they just started laughing more and more, and eventually were unable to work because they were laughing so much. It was a fine enough night for me. Yeah, the aliens aren't going to say that we're a primitive race after all that. They'll have finally stepped up to their level. I got so bored working in the factory. I would just come up with story after story after scenario after scenario. I had so many ideas, like, I had a plan for whatever could happen. Like, there were no bears there, but if there were bears, I came up with, like, ways to safely get out of the facility and possibly counteract the bear. I had a setup for if zombies attacked, and all sorts of crazy scenarios so that I didn't just pass out from boredom. No, oh, we got a not smiling Doko here. Ah. Well, we got one last character left to do the blacks on, and then we just go back through and make sure all the white lines on the inside are black. Hopefully it hasn't been too boring of a stream today. I know my yawning is helping that aspect. Let's see here. Going through the videos, looking up music. Oh, there's one by Chocovania. No, not that one. You know, I should do a stream where I just play all the music I want, and then afterwards I'll see what gets the video blocked. And then I'll know which music tracks I can and cannot play for future streams. That's what I should do at some point. But then I'll have to come up with, like, something to do to sacrifice the, footage for, because I don't want to just do that and have it be, like, an important thing that I'm working on, and then just have that blocked forever. Hey now, you're an all-star. Game on, go play. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Skillet. Lido Town. Definitely can't play that one. Alright, well, turn on some jazz jackrabbit. Let's get this off the screen. Take another bite of the donut. Okay, Edward18, please wake up. Wake up and commentate. Your audience needs you. Singing along with the music is not commentating. I don't know why you are doing that. Seems counterproductive to what the cause of your verbal interaction should be. And yet you still do it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll have to eat after this, but I am getting pretty hungry. Ah, Mariato. So how about that weather? The most blatant of small talk. Yeah, if my mind were working, I would be on to talking about all sorts of things. You just need to get going properly. But at this point, it's kind of a lost cause how late it is in the stream. Well, while you are in Florida, that is a bit to be expected. Yeah, at least it's not California, though. Okay, I'll keep it turned down to that volume. Yeah, it was cool how you found that storyboard version of the Fistful of Energon the other day. You stumble across a bit of things in your time on Twitter and YouTube, it seems. Important stuff to keep preserved. for the future generation. Yeah, well, if you don't like Florida, there are plenty of other places to go to. Seems that half the people I run into on the internet, or over half, are from or in Florida. It seems like half the world's population is from there at times on the internet. Yeah, Florida was always too hot for me. I'm more of a 60s degree weather type of person. Okay. Alright, without that music, my head is clearer. Teen Titans, go! I used to play the Flash game they had at Teen Titans on the Cartoon Network website. And it was like a one character on one side of the screen, the other on the other, and you fight like a fighting game. I remember I could beat all of them. I think they updated Plasmus's look after they made him stop looking like Clayface. Not sure what all I would want to stream if I had the ability to stream anything I wanted. I would like to do Let's Plays and stuff, but don't quite have ROMs really for the games I would want to do. And I did do Let's Plays years ago. Kirby 64, Star Fox, and Resident Evil, Vector Man. They were garbage Let's Plays, but they were Let's Plays. I recorded them with a digital camera that I set up on a bunch of bricks that I put on top of each other. Pointed it at the TV screen and clicked record. And sat behind the camera and talked and hoped that the audio would be picked up by the recording device. Yeah, my computers aren't the best. The Windows 7 is pretty much not an option. This Windows 10, however, is 64-bit. I assume that's okay. It's able to do Steam, which I've never been able to do before I got this computer. But I've only got Caro Blaster from that. And now that I've turned off the music on my end, I'm able to talk now and think and stuff. It isn't just going along with the music. Let's see here. Okay. That's still set up. Okay. Do I have all the black areas? I think I do. And now time to fill in the white lines. I got plenty of games. I got hundreds of games. I just don't have them on the computer. I got all the 64s and GameCubes, PS1s, Genesises, all the stuff you could ever want. Worms Armageddon, sure. Yoshi's Story, Mystical Ninja, Metal Gear Solid. All the stuff. All the Sonics and Metroids, everything. But they're not on the computer, they're just physically in the closet. Ba, 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 ba. I need something to make me become more active on the recording, or else I will lose what little viewers I have left. But what does that matter? Are viewers not just words that show up on your screen when they type messages? Are they really there? Or is it just complex AI programs that have been designed to satiate humanity? What if it's no one on the other end? Perhaps it's just robots, learning to be humans, gaining their own interests into what you are interested in. These are the things you have to wonder as you see the words appear in the chat box. Is it all really real? What does it all mean in the end? Oh well. I forget what I was saying. AIs and robots, I do know that. There. Today is just not a good day for the brain. Well, you say, could you do this, but I have yet to see what you are saying that you can do, Shadow. Yeah, I was assuming that you were trying to put something in the stream. But yeah, that's, it was a good effort nonetheless. I will just pretend there was a cat in there. They are plentiful enough on the internet. Oh, I guess you have sent a picture of yourself into the Discord before, so there's not much questioning there. Yeah, I think we've had me, Masasa, you, and I think Handgun has shown what they look like, but I can't remember what they look like. And I've got plenty of pictures of me, but I rarely have ever put any pictures up on the internet of myself. That's part of why I drew myself as a character. I used to never like showing what I looked like. And I probably still don't care for it much, but I don't really have much problem with it now. The same issue I had of not liking what I sounded like outside of my own head. I'm just not exposed enough to that person that you are. But once you settle into it after enough years, it becomes more easy to tolerate. Although I still animate myself, as that is a lot more fun than doing a real-life thing. Allows you to do whatever you want, pretty much. Takes a ton of work, but it does allow more variety. Yeah, for me, my biggest issues came with always worrying that I was going to get fat if I ate too much when I was younger. But that's never really been too much of an issue, I don't think. It's certainly not something that has come to pass. Let's put in little knee area for Doko here. And yeah, I just ended up turning off the music on my end of the stream, so I can actually think and talk now with how I'm doing today. I apologize for the initial couple of hours of the stream. Sure, it wasn't all that great. Yeah, you do look a bit thin in what you put up on the Discord. I'm not sure how I'll manage the streams and the Discord and the talking and all that once I end up getting a job and stuff. It's going to be a bit overwhelming, probably. But I'm always under pressure of all sorts of things, so it should be about normal, even itself out. Main thing would be taking care of the body finally once the funding happens. Oh, I didn't get his goggles. Here we go. Yeah, I used to draw the goggles where, in older comics, I would just draw his goggles as, like, you'd see just one goggle when it was showing him from an angle to, like, imply that the goggle strap was going through his hair to the other side, is why the other goggle couldn't be seen. But eventually I just ended up drawing, like, both goggles, usually all the time, so that it looked more normal that way. Why am I, like, trying to hum to the beat of the music? I can't hear what is even playing. Allow the Edward voice to lull you into relaxation is His emotionless, dry delivery of everything. I could be saying anything and it would still come out as soothing and melodical. God fucking damn it. Are we really here just to suffer? I like Bionicles. Transformers are cool. This is stupid as hell. This is all said in the exact same cadence. Why do you talk like this, Edward18? It's just how I talk. You cannot change the inner workings of this cyborg's dialogue. You also cannot apparently stop me from trying to sing/hum to the beat of a tune that I cannot hear because I have it muted. Bubbo. Mega Man X6 is the absolute worst Mega Man X game of all time. No, that's Mega Man X7. Either way, they both suck and are absolute garbage. I think I finished DuckTales, the newer show, last year. Pretty sure, yeah, it was last year I finally saw the ending to that. I would count it as one of the, Gravity Falls, Star Forces of Evil, Amphibia, Owl House type of legacy, but since it's like actual original Disney characters and not what the people making the show have created really as characters, it kinda feels like just sort of an extension of that era more than like an actual entry for that era. Oh, Mega Man 9 is fun as hell, but it looks like absolute garbage because they went back to 8-bit. Still play it though. It's fun enough. Yeah, for Mega Man, I just wish... I wish a lot of things, but it's stuck in the Capcom formula, so it's always restricted by that. I guess Molly McGee is the latest entry into the modern era of Disney to me. Kiff is also kind of, but it feels more like a spin-off than a proper entry, because it doesn't feel like it has as much put into it as the other ones. It feels more like it's made to fill in having a younger audience show, rather than being made more as a genuine new adventure. It feels like it'll be fine, but that's about it to me. Not much to really be invested in compared to the others. From what I've seen, Molly McGee has gotten better since the very first episodes. They make a lot of good use of smear frames when they're animating the characters. They have them pretty much blur across the screen at times. Make proper use of the older techniques. Yeah, I was just surprised that it's on season 2 now, because I had had only seen a couple of episodes at the start, and I hadn't realized it'd been going for that long. I remember when everyone was talking about how Molly and Andrea would be the new Luce and Amity. That went on for a bit. Yeah, old techniques are always good. The original masters got them down, and that's how they were able to make the cartoons look as good as they did. Bob Clampett was always great at the wacky side of cartoons. He did the best Daffy ones. And John Kay. I know John Kay worships Bob Clampett. He would always make articles in his blog about him and go over every little frame of his animations, study them and stuff. The claw. I would love to animate Doko and his friends on an adventure, but I always have my hands full doing everything else I do. I know that the people that like the comics would love to see that, especially with how I animate. I did animate the Tesley and Mech and Doko years ago for an old animation. That was like back when I was using like the animation table and pencil and paper for the animations. It's not the best. I had thought about animating a trailer for this tournament saga, but it's too much work to actually get just a trailer done for the comic while I'm making the comic and while I'm doing the other animations and fan art and everything else. And I have to like make the music and everything for it also. I've had an idea for the theme music of Dreamscape thought out for like over half a decade at this point, but I've never been able to cobble together a version of it. Something like that. It'd have Doko running towards the screen at the start, and then go into the villains and show all of them and stuff. And get you all set and ready for the adventure. Now I'm going to pick out some other music, which I'm not going to be listening to, cause that's going to mess with my ability to talk, with how my brain is right now. But it'll be on in the background for the audience. Oh, I could do a Gygus theme. I have 450 music tracks to choose from, and I cannot ever decide. Partly because half or 3/4 of these aren't allowed to be played in videos. Oh, we can do this one. Here we go. That's a bit loud, I think. Let's see, am I still able to be heard over that? Or is the Japanese yelling too much? I'm sure it'll be a treat to listen to at least. And yes, that is what you think it is. I would sometimes play scenes of Doko in some intense fights when I'd hear this music in my head. Yeah, I do hope the seemingly anti-Dragon Ball-ness of some of the members of the Discord don't get to you at times. I know that you probably are fine regardless, because you still got Dragon Ball. But don't want it to feel too unpleasant there. Yeah, this was always one of the Dragon Ball tracks I would play while I was sometimes while I was doing fanfics I would play this music if I was getting into more intense scenes in the fanfic. I used to think it'd say, "Take your shot, beat him now," is what I always thought it said. And moving on into other Dragon Ball video game music. Another favorite of mine to picture Doko fight scenes too. Actually, I'd play the entire Doko's entire series in my head to this. Just a long AMV of all the different sagas of Doko, and then getting up into the finale and stuff that you guys don't know about yet. Yeah, stick around long enough and the stream has something for everybody. Yeah, Gogeta always had a cool design to me. Vegito was always an odd name in the English language. 'Cause it's like, it's not a proper combination of the English names of the characters. What it's supposed to be is a combination of Vegeta and Kakarato. And Vegeta, Kakarato, Vegito is how that combination works. But since they just use the Japanese name convention, it's like, it doesn't make sense if you think about it for the English names. Yeah, I got a few Dragon Ball songs on here. I'd be playing part of the Illuminator stuff at this part. Then this part is like showing flashbacks throughout Doko's life when it gets to the ending of the AMV. And that leads into the final battle. And final battle time. Yeah, no, this is the end of the Dragon Ball tracks in this playlist. Yeah, sorry, that's all you get for the Dragon Ball. Yeah, what to put on next? Oh, there's a feel-good remix featuring Aku and Scaramouche. It's always hilarious, but probably copyrighted. I don't know. No. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's pretty catchy, but it's not long enough. Or wait. Maybe if we do a repeat. Maybe this'll loop good enough. Yum. But at least you got some Dragon Ball tracks today. It is a hard series to beat when it comes to the music. Oh. Alright, I think we're almost done here. I will finally be able to get up and get something to eat in a bit. Are we done filling in the blacks? I think we are done filling in the blacks. Alright. Now we raise the opacity. And then we go around the page. And we see if there's any touching ups along the rims of the blacks to do to blend into the panel lines. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And the Claw's hat. Yeah, this is the exciting part of the creation process. Absolute joy going over this for hours. Yeah, if I were a big name creator, I'd have all sorts of assistants take care of this stuff, but then you would not get the ever-riveting commentary with me here. You know how much people love to hear me talk, apparently. Okay. Let me... Alright, that's right. Okay. Let's trim that up a bit. Get the eye looking better there. This is weird. Okay, get his shoulder out there. Boom.